Greetings. I've been thinking a lot lately about the divinity of mind. The mind is all. The universe is mental. I've been thinking a lot about the divinity of mind. And you know, it's really true, especially when you convince your subconscious mind everything that you do is divine. Every single thing that you do. So when you're working your magic and you're working the creation of your reality, when you're working the magnetization of the reality that you want, you really have to have superb confidence in yourself, to the point that you recognize that everything you do is divine and you can do no wrong. And I don't mean this in ignorance. I don't mean this in ignorance whatsoever. I mean trusting the choices that you make and not second guessing yourself. I mean trusting every decision and every step that you take. Because when you doubt yourself, that little seed of doubt is the potential for a harvest of failure. Okay? When I think about divinity and how it relates to me, you know, thinking that I don't say something right in the right moment, you got to really consider when you're interacting with other people, it's not what you do at all. People react based on what's already in their heads. You know, if you say something that touches a nerve, that person isn't reacting to what you said, they're reacting to their own stimulus of that subject matter. You know, if somebody doesn't like the word nigger and you say that to them, you just brought up a flood of memories that relate to their dissatisfaction with that word. So to say with the divinity, when you do something that you feel is wrong and someone else gets upset at you or doesn't like it, it's not that you are wrong, it's not that you're incorrect and you're out of sync with the universe. No, never believe that. That person will have a reaction that they're supposed to have, whether it's quote-unquote positive or negative. You were the catalyst to set them on their journey. So if you don't say enough, or you say too much, or you do whatever, that was supposed to be said for them to go along their path. What you don't need to do is to start to doubt and second guess and feel bad. It may seem a little bit weird in the moment, but just remember and repeat to yourself, I'm divine. Everything I do is divine. This is not out of ignorance. This is out of truth and confidence. You're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. Trust your magic. Trust your study. Trust your practice. I'm not doing anything wrong. Maybe somebody doesn't like what I'm doing, but that has nothing to do with me. When you follow the spirit, when you follow the universe, when you follow your own divine mind and your own divine guidance, how could you be wrong? If you're in control of all of this, who is above you to tell you that you're doing wrong? You know, unless you actually are going against the flow, going against the grain, and causing yourself backlash, causing yourself consequences that you don't like. Okay, maybe you need to adjust. But I mean, you know, everyone doesn't have to love you. This isn't a popularity contest. As a matter of fact, most people are stupid. You can bear witness to this yourself. Just go to the grocery store. Just go out. Just go anywhere. Go amongst people. Probably at your job. If you work any type of customer service, you're going to realize that the American population, and possibly the world, I don't know, but most of these people are idiots. Most of these people are adult babies. Adult babies. Now, you can react to that and become upset because, oh, I have to deal with adult babies. Or you can just realize, as a spark of divinity, what else are you going to be dealing with? Because we are extremely rare. Okay, so there's nothing else but our children. The awakened gods, The living gods? Oh yeah, extremely rare. We may number in the hundreds, maybe in the low thousands, compared to billions on this planet. So yeah, you're going to be dealing with idiots. You're going to be dealing with babies. You're going to be dealing with people who don't understand and don't want to understand. It's not your job to educate them. It's not my job to educate you. It's my job to follow my path and get to where I'm going. That just so happens to involve me recording audio and video and doing things like that. And furthermore, when you interact with these idiots, you're doing that for a paycheck, but also for experience, for human nature. Instead of being subjective and in the moment and in that whole process, be objective, be outside of that. Just observe human nature, observe the evil that we call humanity, observe the disgusting nature of humanity, observe the flawed nature of humanity. Alright? This world is terrible. You know, and I'm going off the Gnostic scriptures. This place is trash compared to, you know, the higher levels of existence. I mean, just the very act of us sustaining ourselves here is blasphemy. In order for us to go another day, we have to consume the life of something else. Everything on this planet. In order to continue this miserable existence, we have to consume the life of something else. So don't talk to me about vampirism and satanic evil, this, that, and the third. You're evil. If you identify with your fleshly human body, if you consider this you, if you think that you're that walking meat bag, and that's all that you are, you're the true evil. You know, there have been EEG scans on plants, you know, on fruit that have been sliced open, and they feel pain, and the neighboring fruits around them feel pain. They scream, right? Plants feel. The animals that we slaughter to eat, they feel. Okay? The bugs that eat each other, and the plants, and the sea life, everything. We're all alive, and we all have to consume each other just to go on another day. Observe humanity. Observe these people who you think are better than you, these people who have more money than you, who have a higher status than you. Observe these people. And you really tell me, coming from a magical perspective, coming from a divine perspective, coming from someone who actually follows and listens to the beating drum of their intuition, someone who is awakened and conscious. Observe these people and tell me exactly how they're better than you. We're all trapped down here in Tartarus. We're all we, listening to this message, we are all fallen angels, kicked out of heaven, imprisoned in Tartarus. How do you imprison a god? You trap him in flesh. You trap him in the third dimension. And you doom him to repetitive cycles of life over and over again. And matter degenerates and deteriorates and gets worse as time goes on. So this prison sentence doesn't get any better. The only way out is through. The only way out is through things like this, through this message. You hear that bell? This magic isn't simply for getting that person that you want to have sex with, or getting, you know, a bunch of money in your bank account, or getting that car, or getting that job, or getting your bills paid, or, you know, having an easy life. It's not for that. Those are all practice. And it's all practice for a bigger goal. You see, we're in a certain type of war, a certain type of battle, and you really don't know who you're against or whose side you're on. We're all pawns, okay? We're all placed in this prison, doomed to repeat the sentence over and over, and we don't even remember why. The point of this magic is to discover your true self and to escape. That's the point. Now, the commodities, the sex and the toys, the cars, the job, you know, the status, all these things are just after effects of you working your way up the totem pole, so to speak, cosmically, spiritually. These things sort of come with your rise into power. But ultimately, we're all trapped in this third dimensional world of matter. And for an awakened individual, that's not really where you want to be. You know, after it's all said and done, of course. So, even as I stated in a previous video, the whole reason why I'm really emphasizing the state of mind change is because it's damn near impossible, if not difficult, to perform appropriate magic if you don't have the correct mindset. So just for these few first videos, I'm going to focus on mindset, because you're not going to understand or even be able to employ the techniques that I'm going to be talking about in future videos. The mind is all, the universe is mental. It's very important that you get a hold of the Kabbalion and study the principles therein. It's very important that you get a decent grasp over the symbology of magic, the 4 elements, the 7 planets, definitely the Kabbalah. If you want to venture into tarot, that's cool. The 72 spirits of the Goetia, that's very useful. If you're not ready for that, then maybe you can come back to the Necronomicon and check out the 50 names of Marduk. Because I'm going to go really hard into summoning spirits and utilizing them to perform miracles in your life, to perform the things that you need to be done. Okay. I mean, I've dealt with some spirits that do exactly what they say. Exactly what they say, when they say it. I've been convinced enough that I think it's time to really share this with people who want to know. So yeah, work on your mindset. Have confidence. You are on this path because you are able to handle this path. Okay, back when I was in my Christianity, I would even ask God, because I've been in this for a long time, since I was a little kid. Well, not little kid, but since I was in high school. I'd always ask God if it was okay, and I always felt like I had permission to explore and research and discover the dark side, right? And yeah, because of that, I never really had any fear of repercussion. I never had any fear of demons and fear of the devil and this is going to happen to me. No, I felt like I was allowed to do it. I felt like I had a spiritual pardon, if you will. And that really ties into the mindset. If you're afraid, if you've got fear in your heart, don't do any of this. Don't touch this. Spend some time working on yourself. Sit down and meditate. Meditate. Just sit there. Don't think. Observe the thoughts that are going through your brain, but don't think. And really come to terms with reality. And come to terms with the fact that there is nobody above you. There's nobody you need permission from. Do what thou wilt. And that is the whole of the law. That's what that means. Do what you do. Do it. Go do it. Don't ask anybody. Don't email me. Don't ask me in a comment. Try it and see what happens. Go ahead. If you think you're ready, go summon a demon. But if you're afraid, don't touch it. Don't touch it. But yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But for now, you need to really get it in your head that you're divine. Okay? You need to brainwash yourself that you are divinity. And everything that you do is perfect. Everything you say, every mistake you make, fall in love with your flaws. Embrace who you are. See, we're all born into the wheel of time. We're all born under the 12 zodiac. Human beings are cataloged cosmically from the month to the day to the year to the second. The planets have been in a certain position. And we've done this thing for thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years, maybe millions of years, maybe billions of years. But if you study astrology, you'll see that it's been mapped out what kind of person that you potentially are. Everybody has been mapped out. So learn about yourself. Go venture into astrology and learn about yourself. Now, that being said, we're all trapped under one of the 12 signs. The key is to discipline those 12 signs, to make them your disciples and become that 13th, the 13th son, right? Become that Messiah who is no longer under the influence of the archons, no longer under the influence of the angles, one who understands and has adapted and has transcended. Now you control those angles. Now you can siphon energy from the sleeping to fuel your rise. There we go with that vampirism again. But like I said, we'll talk about all these things a little bit later. Sit down and meditate. Remember that you're divine. Remember that there is nothing greater than your divine mind. I'm out.